Welcome to Teed Off with Joe Meglin, where we help real players with real problems. And we're brought to you here by Pure AV, which has this awesome facility that we're able to record this show and help these players play better golf. So I'm Joe Meglin. I've been teaching golf now for longer than I want to admit, and I've taught about 30,000 golfers. And a lot of this came about because I just got fucking sick and tired of seeing the same shitty golf swing over and over and over again. So I just said I need to just start telling people what they need to do. And honestly, you could ask these two guys. That's how I teach golf, right? I'm just super honest, super upfront. I tell people how it is.
I'm Dave Nelson. I'm a physical therapist, and handicap is an 18, and best round of golf is 92. So if I'm shooting under 100, that's pretty darn awesome for me, playing, like Joe said, once a month.
Dave, what's up?
Oh, what's up, Joe? How are you?
You all right down there, buddy?
I'm good. Just stretching. Dude, everyone should do this. I tell you to do this all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
Listen.
I don't have too many lessons that I walk into where my player is splayed out on the floor like that, but
Everyone's got
I
to do
guess to each their own, right? Right? You feeling better? We good now?
Almost there.
Okay. Not often do you come into a golf lesson and see a guy laying on the ground stretching. I would be curious if he would do that if we were on an actual grass tee, but I guess to each their own.
Do the drive, just got to get loosened up. Everyone thinks this is baby pose. It's child's pose. All right. I think we had...
All right, cool.
Working with Joe is pretty great. You definitely have to know what you're getting into before working with him, and you got to be ready to just take it on the chin and be okay with that. The first drill that he shared was pretty great because it's just working on really taking aggressive directions with the club. So that was pretty awesome. Can't wait to apply that on the course.
All right, Dave. So today I want to work on three things with you, right? Because we've got a pretty awful dispersion pattern here, right? We're seeing the ball go a variety of distances, and that's because you're hitting it all over the club face. We're also seeing poor contact because you're not hitting the golf ball solid. And then you're having a massive amount of face control issues, right? Where the face is just kind of all over the place at impact. And that's pretty common for an 18 handicap, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's really hard to play golf if I can't hit the ground in the right location, hit the ball in the center of the face, or control where the club face points at impact. So the first drill we're gonna do here, hang on over there for a second for me, is just what I call left, right, center. And we're just gonna give you a little bit of face awareness because at this point, you just don't have any, right? It's a fucking miracle.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's hard to control where my wrists are.
Dave is a wildly inconsistent player. He's hitting it all over the place. He has no face control, but that's not uncommon for players in that scoring range. When he's hitting drivers, oftentimes you just gotta kind of look out and just hope you don't live on the golf course that Dave's playing. Yeah, and again, you wouldn't really have an understanding of how to do that if you hadn't been taught it before. So what we're gonna have you do is try to hit the ball to the left by feeling the left forearm kind of turn down and rotate so that in the follow through, that club face is closed. I'd want you to finish kind of right here so you could see the club face pointed down at the ground. The right shot, right, we're gonna feel that club face point more skyward as we go through. Very rarely would you ever try to feel it on the golf course, but getting an understanding of the extremes can help you kind of find that middle ground and educate your hands a little bit more so that when you're playing with golfers, they don't have to feel for their lives when you're out there.
Okay.
So the last one would then be the club face pointed more down the target line, or more toward the sky there, and the face nice and square. So that's the one we're going for, where we can start to get the ball going more down the target line and less scattered across the golf course, right?
Okay.
So let's try that one. Let's clear these shots here. So start off by closing the club face and hitting the ball left of the target here. Yeah, that's perfect. Shocking. So now, obviously, the hard one. Let's see what you got. Try to hit it down the center here. Yeah. Fucking shocker right there,
After going
Yeah.
to these extremes, it made more sense trying to get right in center.
I call it educating your hands, right? You're trying to feel what your hands are doing through the bottom part of the swing. As we get faster, it's going to be harder to do that, but that's a really good starting point for you to start to get the club face to kind of square up more often just by understanding what it feels like to close it and what it feels like to keep it too open.
Yeah, for sure. That was easy. I like it. That's good.
So the most important drill for him is going to be to hit the center of the face. I mean, good luck with the driver. Honestly, for any player, especially guys like Dave, it's 45.5 inches long. They make other clubs that a lot of those players should use, and I would highly recommend that players like Dave and Dave himself never hit driver on the golf course. This is just a simple T-gate drill that you can have. I want you to stay slow with this still, right? Because if you start going faster, you're gonna fuck it up. So you just put some tees outside of the golf ball, right? Let's start without a golf ball and just practice swinging the club through that gate with just these same little swings. A little bit longer than that. Yeah, perfect. Good. So now we put the ball kind of right between those tees. Yeah. And I like training everything like slower to start with, because again, the longer the backswing gets, the more problems you're probably gonna have and the more the ball's gonna go offline. And you can start to learn how to make swings where you can control the golf ball a little bit more, right? Like, I'm a big fan of speed, right? We need to go fast to play this game, but speed isn't your problem. It's really direction when you're out there, right? And with the lack of play that you have, just never playing golf essentially, right? Would you say like once a month maybe?
Once a month, yeah. And I do hit golf balls a lot more regularly, but it's indoor, so it's on turf, so it doesn't give me like any like course management.
And so once a month in Cleveland, Ohio is essentially you're playing golf 6 times a year. So like we can barely call you a golfer at that point, right? And I know you hit some shots like in your studio a little bit, but essentially like one of the things I would do if you could is just ramp up the amount of time that you play golf, right?
For sure, yeah.
All right, let's see that again. Good. Really good. I also have to point out, like, what is this fucking bag over here?
No doubt, I love my bag.
This $7
Yeah, and
garage sale special that you brought to the golf lesson.
You fitted me with new clubs like 2 years ago, so they're like legit clubs.
You have
the awesome
a $1,500 set of clubs in a $6 golf bag.
It was $4 actually. Okay. My brother bought it for me at a Goodwill.
Okay.
I love penguins. I can't part ways with it. Gotta have it.
Awesome. This is an embarrassment, by the way.
No, I think it's pretty awesome.
Okay.
I love it.
Great. We're in this like
favorite.
Amazing facility here.
Yeah.
Right? Like Pure AV has like the coolest setup I think I've ever seen. And you had no qualms about walking through the front door with this golf bag.
I mean, I don't get a lot of compliments on it, but it makes me happy.
You know, you're the guy, I remember when I used to work at a golf course, there was always that guy who showed up and we're like, oh no, not this guy, right? Like showing up with like a bag that you could tell the guy plays like twice a year. But then I would see these golf clubs and be like, oh, maybe this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, yep. And then that's why I'm still an 18 handicap.
I mean, 18's better than most. Maybe one day I'll get you to get rid of that thing.
I don't think so.
All right, let's do a few more of this and then we'll move on to another drill. Yeah, that's really good. I mean, all I would do, honestly, and let's try a few more, is I would just add a little bit of length and speed to that. You're hitting it really solid, just kind of focusing on hitting the center of the face. And then as we work down the club face a little bit, again, club face control is always a little bit easier at slower speeds. The faster you go, the harder it is to hit straight. And I mean, based off what we saw with the 7-iron, like, I don't even think you should hit driver when you play golf, right? Like, it's probably awful, especially at our golf course, Stonewater. Like, I don't want to get phone calls in the pro shop that you're hitting houses out there, right? So why don't you keep that in the bag for a while, and then maybe as we get better with like a 5-iron off the tee, then we can move into a driver.
Okay. I'll tell you this drill, interestingly, like it's keeping my eyes like down a lot longer than it typically do. So it's like I don't want to hit the tees. So I like this. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, you clip that left tee a little bit there, but again, still, all of these shots are going really straight. I'm looking like a genius right now, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
This is easy. Like, it's easy to execute. I just don't want to hit the tee. And I don't want to disappoint you, I guess.
Well, I mean,
I hate that.
Pretty surprised at how well he did with all of those things we worked on. It's not common that I'm going to work on 3 different things with a player like that, but with as inconsistent as he is, those are the things that he needs to get better at. And since I only see Dave like once a year for a golf lesson, I had to give him more information. So again, hit the tee, right? Really good shot, but just that's more out towards the toe. Luckily, you have forgiving golf clubs, right? If you were playing with a set of blades, you'd be toast. You can see right there, that ball's off the toe. So this system gives us really good feedback, but obviously when you're on the range, you're not gonna have a nice $20,000, $30,000 simulator there. So the tees are a really easy way for you to fix that, right? So give me a good one here, since that sucked.
Okay.
Set up again. I'll make it a little tougher for you this time too.
Yeah, I see that.
Hold on, let me make sure, put the club down. No, you gotta put the club down. Yeah. All right, so get it through there.
Okay.
Yeah, Beautiful. Combine those two drills and maybe one day we could call you a golfer, all right?
Yeah.
So last
Next
one.
month. Next month. Just work on it every day.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. I doubt that that's going to happen though.
Sure.
So last one, we're just going to work on some low point here. So I'm going to show what we're going to do. So I like alignment sticks to work on this. Let me borrow your 9-iron for a second here. So all we're going to try to do here is essentially just focus on hitting the ground on the target side of the ball. Now notice as we're focusing on simple tasks for you, right? Keep it as simple as possible. You know, if you're familiar with the KISS method.
Oh, love it.
Right?
Yep.
So I won't say it out loud, I don't want to insult you, but keep it simple. You guys can fill in that last S. So hitting the ground in the right location is going to be important. And as we're keeping it simple for you, it's happening more and more, but we'd still want to improve that a little bit, right? And just give you something to work on with that. So just little practice swings, hitting the ground in that right spot. We can probably combine these two drills actually to see if you're able to do this. So now we can kill two birds with one stone.
Okay.
Yeah. Big fan of short swings, right? You hit it everywhere, so the faster you swing, the further offline it's going to go.
Okay.
So if you're struggling on the golf course, just shorter backswing, swing it slower. I mean, speed is going to help you shoot lower scores, but like if you don't know where it's going to go, it's really hard to play golf, right?
Yep.
Like honestly, chip it around the golf. Old man golf, right? I know you're 35.
35. Yep.
Yeah, so I know you're 35 years old, but old man golf would be perfect for you, right? Like just set up there and slap a 7-iron out there 150 yards, slap it down there again, and then chip it on the green, right?
Yeah, honestly, because when I chase after it, it does go wild. And usually it goes like way left.
Yeah, and I know
And
you're the performance therapist, right? So you're helping me get more speed in my game, and you're trying to keep up with guys like me, but I would just stop trying to do that, right? It's not really worth it for you to go down that route with playing golf once a month, right? Just enjoy being an 18, and let's see what happens from there.
Okay.
A couple more here.
Okay.
I don't expect him to be able to take any of those changes to the golf course right away. It's really hard for players to do that. And if those are your expectations when you go take lessons or you try these tips, you're fucking sadly mistaken. So with Dave, what he should do moving forward is just train these skills a lot. He doesn't play a lot of golf, so that's actually good for him that he can train these skills a lot. And then when he gets to the golf course, just try to focus on one or two of the key things we worked on today. Good. All right. And I mean, more practice swings, right? Like,
sure.
Don't be average chop at the range who every time they miss a shot rakes the ball in real quick. There's zero feedback to that as you're doing that. So you're just pulling the ball in and ripping it, and before it even gets to where it's going, like you've got another golf ball in there, right? So take your time. We're not working out at the driving range. We're trying to train good feels.
Yeah, I love the half swing idea. Just makes a lot of sense. Fill that in.
Yeah, really good. And then every time you hit a shot like that, I'd give yourself a big old pat on the back because you don't see them very often, right?
Absolutely.
And then as you do it more and more, right, it'll just get better. And just be patient with it, right? So like if today you suck, right, tomorrow you'll suck less, right? And then you'll keep sucking less and less until eventually maybe you'll be okay.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's hard for me to set realistic expectations. I feel like today is gonna be the day where I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna be like perfect the whole day.
Yeah, so I mean, no, it's not how that really works.
Right.
Right? Like,
why do we think that? You know, why is that something?
I mean, because we have hope, right? We think that today is going to be the day that we have like our best round ever, but essentially like it's totally random. So the less you kind of think that you're going to play good, the more you just kind of get out there and just play golf and try to hit shots like this. Maybe a little bit more speed. I mean, it's going to be really hard to chip a 9-iron 100 yards on the golf course. So maybe get it to like 120. And I know you can hit that 160. I've seen you do it. But when you try to hit it 160 is what we see when we show up to start with, right? So I'm a big believer in getting players to swing faster. But where you're at right now, you have that speed to be able to tone it down. You've also got golf clubs that go really far, so you don't really need to swing that hard. And I mean, let's be honest, you're not like playing from the tips. And if you are, then you're just an idiot trying to play from the tips. You're playing a 61 to 6,200 yard golf course with a bunch of your clients, right? So like, you don't need to hit it 250 yards. It's really cool to do, and everyone has an ego, but like swallow your pride.
It wasn't cool the one time that I got suckered into doing it. I was like, I don't think we should do this. Like, we didn't belong there. No.
Yeah.
At that.
And then you're just going to hold up the whole golf course, and now I'm going to get phone calls, and everyone's going to be pissed.
Yeah,
so
no one needs that.
Give me one more good one here, and
got it.
Call it. A little more speed on this one. So like just a little further back. Yeah. Again, as you go faster, you might lose direction, but that's pretty close. I mean, we're probably 10, 12 yards away from the target line at maybe 140 on that. Yeah, 130. A little off the toe, so let's get this tighter. Let's end on a good one.
Okay.
So set up in there. Go ahead, take your setup. Good. So miss the tees with a little bit more speed. Fucking great.
That was great.
Always the last one they fuck up. Gonna break the stuff here. I hope there's a budget for things getting broken. All right, you hit the tee, but it's a good shot. We don't have all day to watch you hit a good one, so we'll end it there.
Very good
stuff, man.
Dude, Joe, thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Yeah, so if I had to grade myself with a lesson today, I think I picked up on things pretty quickly. Probably a solid B+. Now, I'm a pretty tough grader. So yeah, I put myself right there, about a B+.
If I were to grade today's lesson, I would honestly give myself probably an A. Dave actually did pretty well himself too. I was really surprised at how well he took that information. As a student though, Dave gets a D because he rarely practices and rarely plays. So I'd say we'd average it out at maybe like a C+ for Dave as a student.